Hi everybody and welcome to the Royal Chess YouTube channel. My name is Kanovsky and this is part 10, so the last part of my serial about endgames with opposite card bishops on the board. For the last part I have prepared for you one more fantastic endgame with opposite card bishops, which was played between two top world grandmasters, Vasily and Topalov, against Alexei Shirov in 1998. As you can see on the board, from the first point of view, it seems that white shall be losing because black is 2 pawns up. But on the other hand, the truth is that here one very good thing for white is that white bishop is making principle of one diagonal. It means that he's protecting both black pawns on the same diagonal from going forward. And also it's quite fine that the bishop is attacking black pawn on f6. So here, if we try first way how to win the position with easy king d6 move and going with king to the queen side. Here in fact it is quite clear that after king f2, king c5, king e3, white is easily drawing this endgame, because for example after king c4 and bishop taking on f6, king b3, white is just playing king d2 and white is making a knight opposition with a king, and black just cannot make any progress at all in here. So this is not a good idea for black. So we need to try another resource. So going with the king throughout king side. Maybe not to the king side, but through king side, so through this diagonal to the queen side, and of course to help black pass pawns to go forward. So let's try bishop e4 first. Bishop e4 is of course a good move, because not only creating king f5 possible, but also attacking pawn on g2. So after king f2 and king f5, white needs to play g3 of course, and after a3, king e3, king g4. If white is playing king f2 here, of course black is playing f5. So the right way for white is in fact exchanging pawns, so taking on f6, and after taking on g3 just playing king d2. And here in fact black has got two options how to continue. The first one is to play d4, but d4 is really not enough. In fact, d4 is really easy draw for white, because after taking on d4 and taking on h4, white is easily playing king c1, bishop c5, king b2, and even though black has got two passed pawns which are far away from each other, which we already know is very good in this type of endgame. Here of course the situation is much different, because black is having a rook pawn, and what is of course important in here, black has got a bad bishop to this pawn. Black is not protecting a1 square, so of course white is easily drawing with sacrificing his bishop for g pawn, and the position is a clear draw afterward. So after king d2, the better option, the better try for black is to play king f4, and for example after bishop e7, which is another great idea by white. It is really good for weaker side in general, to make opponents' passed pawns to go on the same square as its own bishop. so we can protect that pawn with a king. So after a2, bishop f6, bishop f5, bishop g7, king e4, bishop a1 is important, of course. So after d4, white bishop is still protecting a1 square. And here after, for example, bishop b2, d3, bishop c3, king f4, and bishop f6, the only way how to make any progress for black is to sacrifice a pawn and to take on h4. And it seems that white could be losing this endgame, but if you remember one of parts of our 10 parts serial, you can remember that this position is drawing. We have already seen this position, we have already mentioned this situation, that with two passed pawns, with two files between them, if one of the pawn is a knight pawn, and even especially when weaker side is promoting square for that knight pawn, then this position is drawing. So here black is not able to win. The position is not winning for him. So it is quite close, but still not winning for black. So if we go back again to the starting position, at the moment it seems that the position is drawing. Black cannot win even though he's got 2 pawns up. But the truth is that the position is winning, and Grandmaster Sheriff found absolutely amazing idea how he can win the position, the endgame. And the fact is that Grandmaster Sheriff realized that he's just one tempo behind. So if he would be able to gain one tempo, he shall be winning the endgame. But of course, the question is how black can gain a tempo in here. And the answer is that black can play absolutely surprising move. One of the most surprising moves I've ever seen in all types of endgames. And it is also the only winning move for black in this position, which is absolutely great. And the right move is bishop h3, which is just wow, that's awesome. That black is sacrificing the whole bishop, it seems, for nothing. not only for one pawn, but the great idea behind this move is that thanks to this sacrifice, black king cannot make his goal. So he cannot make the way to the queen side, to c2 square, and white doesn't have any chance to squeeze the game anymore, because if he is not taking the bishop and is playing king f2 after king f5, of course the problem is that king e3 is impossible, because pawn on g2 is hanging. And of course the main idea behind bishop h3 is that after bishop e4, which we were trying, in fact the bishop was blockading black king from going to the queen side. So that's the main reason for playing bishop h3. So the bishop is not blockading the king. And after king f3, black can easily take on g2 with king e4 coming. And in fact, this is exactly the same what we can see in the game, so in the main line. So after bishop h3, Topalov took on h3. But after king f5 and king e4, black can even sacrifice pawn on f6, or let's say just give to white. Of course, if white is not taking on f6, black can play f5, and with 3 passed pawns, black is quite easily winning. But in fact, here after taking on f6, even 2 passed pawns are enough for black to win, because they are both quite close. to promoting squares. And after d4, bishop e7, king d3. Here, of course, another great idea is that after d4, white has to play bishop e7. He has no time to play king e2, because after a3, it is not possible to protect a1 square. The bishop is just too blockaded here by black d pawn. So that's the reason why bishop e7 needs to be played. But after king d3, bishop c5, here it is the last moment where you can make a mistake. It is the last moment where you need to play precisely. And here king c3 would a big mistake, because after king e2, white king is coming to d1, and here the position is already not winning for black. So after bishop c5, it is really important to play king c4. So not only emptying d3 square for black pawn, but also at the same time attacking bishop on c5. And after bishop e7, king b3, black is winning, because king c2 and d3 are coming. And of course, after that, it is clear that one of black two passed pawns is promoting into the queen, because then white needs to protect the d2 square, but then of course a pawn is just coming, and white is easily losing. So this is the last example I wanted to show you from this serial. Absolutely amazing one. Absolutely fascinating idea of bishop h3 move, which was found and played by Grandmaster Shirov on the board, which is just great and awesome. And I do believe that Shirov was really proud of that move and of that idea. And I'm sure it is one of his best endgames at all. So I hope you have liked this example. Of course, I hope you have liked and you have enjoyed all the serial. I really do believe that endgames with opposite colored bishops on the board are really fascinating. There are so many nice ideas. And of course, as I have already mentioned, in general, many endgames with opposite colored bishops on the board can be drawing for weaker side, even with one or two pawns down. But on the other hand, as I wanted to show you with some, I believe, really nice examples, on the other hand, many endgames with opposite colored bishops can be winning for stronger side, thanks to ideas of Zugzwangs, of creating another passed pawns, and so on. So I do believe you have learned some new more information that you would like to study this type of endgame more. And of course, thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for liking all this serial about endgames with opposite colored bishops on the board. Thank you for liking Royal Chess YouTube channel. And of course, see you next time throughout another, I do believe, interesting topic for you. Of course, I won't tell you yet. You will see soon. So thank you again. Have a nice day. And of course, watch chess videos and try to be better chess players. Thank you again, and see you. Bye bye.